Hello. Before moving into the last round of this tournament, I would like you to subscribe for my channel, to like this video, to comment, and I also would be interested to hear from you if you like this content or not. So since I plan to continue making these videos, but of course it's more interesting to do that in case if you like it, you comment on it, and if you are interested in seeing more videos like this one. Round 9, the final round, and I was playing black against Yeletsky, 2482. Well, my plan was simple, just to play solid, and if he decides that he would like to play for something, then I'm okay about playing. If not, then okay, draw is draw. What to do, especially after the previous round when I just didn't get anything with white, no single chance. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, the Petrov, this time no trash openings, just solid. Knight e5, d6, knight f3, knight e4, and knight c3. One of the main lines against the Petrov, and the main move here, knight takes c3, d takes c3, bishop e7. But you know, even if I play something solid, then I still like to deviate somewhere inside of the line. And here I play knight f6, actually with a good success. I don't even remember if I lose any game with black, but for sure I won maybe 1 or 2 games. I mean, if we talk about classical chess. So knight f6, d4, and here time to time I try different moves. The most common move here is bishop e7, and I also played this time to time. While in this game I played g6, which I also used previously. G6, and the idea that the bishop would be better placed on g7 than on e7. The problem that it takes a bit of time. I need to play g6, and so that's why white can use this time to create something. Bishop g5, bishop g7, and queen e2. Queen e2 looks like such a natural move, a tempting move, but actually it sounds weird, but it's a mistake, since the queen will be badly placed on e2. Yes, I cannot play queen e7. In this case, just queen takes, king takes, and knight d5 using the pin. Was the point of bishop g5 move. But I can play king f8, and I have good results in this system. I drew against Yakovenko something like, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. I have good results in blitz. So the funny thing that black is okay about having his king on f8 and the rook on h8. And here still white can try to play, let's say, queen d2, then probably I will go for something like maybe a6 with ideas of b5, bishop to b7, knight to d7, maybe h6 at some point to start with. While he decided to castle on, this still looks quite natural. h6, bishop f4, and a6. And if you know, like if you have watched some of my videos or maybe streams, so then you know that I quite often I play this system: e4, c5, knight f3, knight f6, e5, knight d5, take, and then I leave my king in the center and attack white on the queen side after castling long. So here it is kind of similar story. The funny thing that my king on f8 is more or less safe. And on the other hand, maybe it even would be worse for me to have the king on g8 with my rook on f8. So then it's kind of easier for white to attack on the king side. While with my rook on h8, it's okay, yeah. Like how he gonna... The question is how white is going to attack my king, and I don't really see... I don't have answer to this question, since okay, let's say h6, bishop f4, and I play a6. My idea is quite simple. My plan is to attack, to go forward with b5, then maybe b4, or just placing this bishop to b7, then the knight to d7, and slowly playing on the, like slowly going forward on the queen side. While for white, it's not that clear how to proceed. And also you see this queen on e2, now it's clear that it just badly placed it. He cannot h4, h5, just pointless. I can even take on h5 or just maybe g5. So then what to do? Yeah, and the guy was like, somehow he just didn't understand what to do, and got a lost position just in few moves. Can you imagine that? Actually here black is already, I would say, I would prefer to play black for sure, and I would say that black is slightly better. So knight e4, okay, for me not a big deal, just knight d7. In case of knight takes f6, I can take back with my knight, with my queen. It's also no problems. And c4. C4 is quite optimistic. You know, for me, it's not like, I'm not that kind of person when you need to repeat your invitation twice. Here I saw like he invites me to the party, and of course I go b5. It's like not even here, it's not even something to think about. It's just like push forward and that's it. So in fact we have just a typical position with the opposite castlings, except one thing, that my king is not really castled, but my king just on the opposite side. And the only drawback for me, the only issue for me, that I have all my pieces except the rook. So, but white also doesn't have all his pieces on the queen side protecting his king. These two pieces are still undeveloped. So that's why after b5, black is already clearly better. I have an easy plan, easy play. Knight f6, queen takes f6. Knight f6 was also possible, but queen f6 attacking the bishop on f4. Queen e4 attacking the rook, so simply rook b8. C takes b5, like not sure if white needs this move. Bishop b7 attacking the queen first, and a takes b5. White cannot take on b5, then bishop f3 attacking the rook on d1 and also attacking the bishop on b5, so grabbing some material. He played king b1, another move which is like kind of just prophylactics, but white's position is already bad, so it's not time to make such a slow move. But on the other hand, it's not clear at all what to do. I thought about, like, I expected maybe bishop g3, since this is a move that he needs to do anyway, removing the bishop, freeing his queen. King b1. Now knight c5, a nice improvement for the knight using the pin. And the point is about either bishop e4 or bishop d5, and the knight on c5 is quite well placed. Bishop g3. Here my first wish, of course, was about playing something like bishop e4, but the problem that he moves if I don't mind. I was afraid that he moves back, and actually king on c1 is better placed than on b1. Also, I had another interesting idea about queen f5 check. King a1, then black is just winning. Queen c2. He cannot even play rook c1, then it's knight b3. If a takes b3, rook a8, checkmate. If queen takes b3, then queen takes c1, checkmate. The rook is hanging, while my threat is about bishop e2, then just rook a8. He still cannot take on c5, then it's mate on g2, mate on b2. And the threat is knight b3 check and almost checkmate, also bishop d5. So you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in attack. White has almost no defenders. But unfortunately after queen f5 it's still king c1. So that's why I played bishop d5, such an annoying move for white. The idea is about giving a check queen f5. But after queen f5 with my bishop on d5, he cannot move his king to c1. Then I would take on a2. And it's a good question. What should white play? His position is just so bad. Also rook a8 is coming, attacking the a2 pawn. So that's why he played b3. And here it's really took me some time to make a decision, like which one to choose, since a lot of good moves. I can play, for example, knight to e4, maybe later with idea of b4, some other moves. And you know, since it was the last round and I wanted to win, so and I couldn't really realize like a clear advantage in some of the lines, so then I decided to make it like really in a stupid way, just grabbing the pawn. Knight e6, even though the knight was not hanging, but knight e6, h4, h5, not really necessary, but I decided to do it. Bishop e2 and bishop takes f3. Queen takes f3, of course not bishop takes f3, then just knight d4 and still checkmate is coming. While, yeah, by the way, the idea of knight e6 is quite, yeah, as I say, just a stupid idea. The idea is stupid, just to grab the d4 pawn, since white has no way to protect the pawn. Bishop e2, bishop takes, knight takes d4, queen takes f6, bishop takes f6, bishop d3. Yes, and this was kind of my plan when I played knight e6. So I decided that this advantage here should be enough to win the game, even though it looks like, I don't know how it looks, but white has a bishop pair, and like normally it's not that good. But here white has no compensation at all. I am a pawn up, and I have these pawns in the center, so I can go forward. King e7. Initially I thought that I will place my king to g7, but then I realized that king on e7 will be quite useful and it will be safe on d7 while protecting my pawns. So f3, king d7, bishop f2, knight e6. And also you see still white has problems with his, I don't even know how to explain it, but maybe with his king, maybe with some squares. You see all these squares, they are kind of weak. My bishop is such a monster on this diagonal. So g3, bishop c3, covering the e1 square. a3, c6. You see he has a bishop pair, I have the dark squared bishop, so that's why generally my idea is to place the pawns to the light squares, restricting his light squared bishop. Bishop e2, d5, rook d3, just bishop a5, and like generally my plan is slowly go forward, and that's it. Bishop b6, of course white cannot trade the bishops, like a bishop pair at least is something for white. So rook e8, bishop f1, now f5, covering this diagonal. And here he decided to go forward with g4. Usually when you are really in a worse situation, going forward like this is nothing good. But what else to do? That's a good question. While I can slowly go forward, let's say rook a8, maybe bishop c5, maybe knight to c5, maybe doubling the rooks on the e file. It's important that here everything is safe, everything is protected. White has nothing to do about that. So g4, knight f4, rook c3, bishop d4. A nice tactical trick. In case of rook d4, I take on e1, and then also even start with knight e6 first. So rook c1, bishop e3, rook c2, h take g4, just grabbing the pawn. And the rest, okay, let's just go quickly, since there is not much to discuss here. I'm 2 pawns up. All I need to do, just improve my pieces, like rook e4, centralizing the rook, protecting everything. Rook f8, over protecting everything there, so no tricks with rook takes e3, with bishop takes f4. Rook f6, also kind of protecting the c6 pawn. Knight h5. There are no tricks for white with rook takes c6. Then I just take bishop b5 and just rook e6. Maybe, by the way, even something like rook e2 works. It's funny, but okay, rook e6 is an easy solution. So in the game it was bishop d3, rook e6, rook g2, rook e3 attacking the bishop, rook f3 threatening rook f2, trading the rooks, rook e6 attacking the bishop, finally rook f2, and g3, g2 is coming. A nice move, king c8 attacking the bishop. The bishop is kind of trapped. Knight to f4. Yeah, here it was a nice idea of rook e1, but I decided to make it simple, and he resigned it. So a nice win by me. So I would say the opponent was trapped in my opening preparation. He expected me to play bishop e7, that's for sure, while I played g6, and he was not prepared for this move, and he took a wrong decision about giving this check on e2. Even though white is not worse yet, but after castling long and playing like he did, like here, it's already here, I would prefer to play black. Black has an easy play on the queen side, b5, bishop maybe to e6 or bishop to b7, then knight d7, knight b6, knight to d5, so easy play. While here it's already after c4, b5, black is clearly better. Maybe saying that black is winning, it's okay, not really optimistic, but it's still about like you need to win. So that's why, but black is clearly better, like really. Definitely need to rest, but I'm quite satisfied with the result overall. Like, yeah, and interestingly, I won with black. I scored 4.5 out of 5, while with white 2.5 out of 4, only 1 win and 3 draws. With black 4 wins, 1 draw, and another one also could have been a win for me. So okay, and I'm happy that the result is more or less okay. So I definitely, like, now I have no choice. I should edit the video and publish it, like all the games and so on. And yeah. So if you are watching it right now, then it means I did that. And see you in my next tournament in Yekaterinburg.